One frustrating challenge that we all have as portrait photographers is when we use a digital camera, or even back when we shot 35 millimeter film. Who does that anymore? Anyway, the format of what we shoot with is a 2 to 3 ratio. Now, what is the most common size portrait that people buy? An 8 by 10. 8 by 10 is a 4 to 5 ratio. Doesn't fit a 2 to 3 ratio, now does it? Now, if you're a photographer like me, you like to crop in camera. You see the image through your viewfinder and you want to crop it just as you see it. You want to capture that image just as you see it through the camera, which is fine and cool if we're going to stay digital, or if we're going to do an 8 by 12, or something that fits the proportions of what we captured. Problem is when you've got a mom or a client who wants an 8 by 10 that would force us to crop off somebody's head or crop off somebody's foot. So, how do we get around that? Well, let's use our model again here. As you can see, I captured it in camera without a lot of room around the head and a lot of room around the foot, but you know what? I like the way it looks. Now let's say she wanted to use this as an 8 by 10. She wanted to make 8 by 10 glossies to hand out to agencies and such. We'd be kind of screwed now, wouldn't we? Well, not necessarily so. There is a way we can cheat this, especially if we're photographing on a background or a neutral background that would allow us to implement this next trick. So what is this trick? Go to your crop tool, set in 8 by 10, which is probably a preset for you. So I've got mine set at 8 by 10, and we're going to start to crop. Well, we're cropping off a foot now, aren't we? Well, okay, well, let's just drag this down to the bottom. Dang, I think she might want her eyes in the photo. So what do? We grab the edges of our crop tool. It's still going to maintain the proportions of an 8 by 10. We can visually center this, or if you wanted to snap rules earlier, you can bring this onto a rule. I'm more of a crop to look because I can just visually center it, or even off center it if I want to, and crop it the way I want it to be. Okay, so we've got our crop set. You can see that the left and right are outside of the image. You know what? That's fine. Hit enter. As you can see, whatever our background color was set in our swatch over here is what color came up. Doesn't matter. We're going to bring this up a little closer so we can see what we're working with. And we're going to go to our marquee tool again. And we're going to go to a rectangular marquee. Have to make sure that we have no feather set. So our feather is 0 pixels. Now watch what we're going to do. We're going to grab it from the top. We're going to take it all the way down to the bottom. And just make sure that we're not grabbing any part of the subject. We're just grabbing background. Now here's the trick. Now that we've got our selection, we hit Control T and we grab the side here and we just drag it on out. Looks good. Hit enter. Hit Control D to take off our selection. Wow, pretty cool. Now we've got to do the same thing on the other side. So we grab the other side, making sure again that we don't grab anything like the chair or part of her elbow or anything, just grabbing background. Hit Control T, drag that on out to the right, get it as far as we need it to, hit enter, hit Control D, and we have an 8 by 10 that maintained our original artistic view of the image. So we still have our full frame shot in there, our 2 to 3 ratio shot contained within a 4 by 5 ratio image. So that's how you cheat a little bit to turn something that really should be 8 by 12 into an 8 by 10.